to move forward with our non-parametric tests. Today we're going to talk about the Mann-Whitney test. So the previous video we discussed the Wilcoxon signed rank test. I'd recommend going back and watching that one before you watch this one. This we're going to focus on the Mann-Whitney U test, and this is the non-parametric equivalent to the two-sampled t-test, in which we're thinking about two different samples. So this particular non-parametric test is going to determine if the distributions of samples are going to be different based on their medians. And so the two-sample t-test looked at the means of our respective samples. Here we're looking at our medians, and our null hypothesis is that the medians are equal. And so we're going to use ranking of our data once again, in which to determine our test statistic that we're using to identify if we should be rejecting or failing to reject our null hypothesis. In this particular case, we're going to be ranking the data rather than ranking the differences. And so when we're ranking this data, it's going to be important that we keep everything organized, because the identity of the samples is going to be important. Similar to the previous non-parametric test, Wilcoxon signed rank test, the lowest values are going to receive a rank of 1, and any type of tied scores are going to receive an average rank. And then once we get our ranks, we're going to use the following formula, which looks a little bit complicated, but if we look a little bit closer, we note that it only incorporates the sample size of our two samples, as well as the summation of our ranks for the sample that we've denoted with the subscript. And so we have test statistic for one of our samples, and then we have the test statistic for our second sample. And if we want to take a slight shortcut formula in order to calculate the second test statistic, we can use the following formula on the right. So let's go through a couple examples to see how this works. Say that we're interested if male and female crabs are the same size or not. So we go out and we collect information on the size of these crabs, and we're going to use the Mann-Whitney U test because our data aren't normally distributed. So in order to do so, we're going to need to rank our respective data sets, and we'll start with the lowest value. So here we've got male crab with a value of 1, so this is going to receive the rank of 1. We then find the next lowest data point. This is going to be 2 for this particular female. And then so this is going to receive a rank of 2. And then we continue and we go forward, ranking the next highest values. Now, in the point which we have any kind of ties in our respective data values, they're going to receive the same rank, and it's going to be the average of the two ranks that these two values would get sequentially. So these would be ranks 5 and 6, so the average is 5.5. Continuing forward, we continue to rank our data, and again, if we run into any ties, and this is either within the respective populations or across the respective populations, they're going to receive an average rank. And we'll go through and do this in class with some examples, but this is something that you should practice as you kind of move forward. So we have this one example here that you can work on and practice with. You can pause the video, go to the PowerPoint slides and practice ranking the data, but you'll want to get comfortable doing this. Now, one of the things that you can do to make sure that you've ranked all your data appropriately is that you can find the value of the highest rank, and this should equal the total number of data points that we have. In this case, we've got 9 male crabs and 9 female crabs. So the highest rank is 18. We've got 18 different data points. If those values don't match, then it's a good indicator that maybe you made a mistake in ranking the data as maybe on a tied data set in which you provided the rank and didn't provide the mean rank. So once we have this information, we can then use it to calculate out our test statistics, U. So in order to do so, we need to take the summation of the ranks for each one of our groups, and then we also need to determine what the sample size is. So we have our sample sizes here, and then we take the summation of our respective ranks. And then this is the information that we're going to use to calculate out our test statistics. So it doesn't matter which of our respective populations are population 1 or population 2. In this case, we'll identify males as 1 and females as 2. So we can go through and we can use our respective formula, inserting the appropriate sample sizes, and then inserting the summation of the ranks. And then this in turn will allow us to calculate our test statistic U1 of 56. We will then take our shortcut formula here and use this to calculate out U2. Now you can use the other formula if you want, just as long as you're getting the equivalent value here. U2 is going to be 25. So we're going to use the following test statistics as well as our sample sizes in which to determine if there is some type of statistically significant difference in these blue crabs. And we're going to do so using a new statistical table, this Man-Whitney U-test table. Now what you'll notice here is we've got a table for two-tailed tests and a table for one-tailed tests. And if we think back to our t-tests, we don't want to conduct a one-tailed test unless we have reason to do so, because a two-tailed test is going to be more conservative in the inferences that we're making. So in this case, we don't have a reason to believe that males will be larger or smaller than females, so we have a two-tailed test. And then we're going to use our test statistic and our sample sizes to compare to our critical value in the table here. And our null hypothesis that the two populations are the same is going to be rejected if either U1 or U2 is equal to or larger than the critical value. So this is key. It doesn't have to be both, it's just one. And so for each one of our Man-Whitney U tests, we're going to select the test statistic that is larger. In this case, it's U1. We're then going to compare it to our critical value, which is going to be based on our sample sizes. So we have 9 individuals from each one of our respective samples, so we'll find those in the first row and in the first column of our table here, and then we find where they intersect, and this is our critical value. And what we note is that our test statistic is less than our critical value, and so we're going to fail to reject the null hypothesis. There's not enough support to say that there's a difference between males and females. Now, let's look at another example. Let's say that we're interested in looking at red drum across Florida and Texas. We're going to use the Man-Whitney U-test to do so because our data are non-normally distributed. So our null hypothesis is that the medians are the same. Now, in this particular case, we're believing that the fish over on our side of the Gulf are larger than those in Florida. And so our alternative hypothesis is that Texas red drum are larger, meaning the median will be larger than those of the red drum in Florida. And so we're going to use a one-tailed test. This is going to influence the table that we're using and our test statistic. So we can go through and we can look at our raw data here. And one thing to notice is that we have a difference in our sample sizes. This is okay. We're allowed to do this with this Man-Whitney U-test. So don't let this throw you off. The next thing we're going to do is rank our data. Now, we're going to go through this quick in the video, so what I'd suggest doing is pausing this and working through it to make sure you feel comfortable ranking the data. So when we rank the data, again, our lowest value is going to receive a rank of 1. We're going to work our way all the way up until we reach the final ranking, and any type of tied values are going to get the same rank, the average of those ranks. So we can go through and we can calculate our summation of our ranks for each one of our respective populations, as well as determine what our sample sizes are. And then we'll use this to calculate out our test statistics. So if we identify Texas as sample 1, we can fill in those respective values for the test statistic formula, and we can calculate out that test statistic at 41. We can then go through and use a formula to calculate U2, test statistic for Florida, and in this case it's 99. We then go to our Man-Whitney U-test table, and again, it's important to note whether we have a two-tailed or a one-tailed test. In this particular case, our alternative hypothesis is that Texas fish are larger than Florida fish, and so we're going to use the one-tailed test portion of this particular table. So now we're going to go through and find our critical value using our sample sizes. Now, if Texas is subscript 1 and Florida is subscript 2, we find those on the respective table and we run into a slight problem. There's a blank. There's no critical value here. Now for this particular test, it doesn't matter which is sample or population 1 and which is population 2. So we can very quickly alleviate this problem by switching Florida and Texas to 1 and 2. And we can then find our critical value here of 99. Now, if we remember, the Mann-Whitney U-test is significant if our test statistic is equal to or larger than the critical value. So we're going to choose our larger test statistic of 99, and what we see here is that we have enough evidence to reject our null hypothesis. Now, as a quick double check, the larger values have higher ranks for our respective data sets, and we're testing to see if the Texas fish are larger than the Florida fish. So there should be a higher summation of the ranks for the Texas fish than the Florida fish, and indeed we see this, that there's a considerable difference and they're much higher ranked than those of the Florida fish. So, a couple key facts and guides for using the Mann-Whitney U-test is that all the data are getting ranks. So we're not ranking based on data pairs. If there's any kind of ties between the data points, then they get a tied rank. And we're going to compare our test statistic from our new Mann-Whitney U table to the larger test statistic value, our larger U value. And it doesn't matter which sample is subscript 1, subscript 2, just as long as we can find that appropriate critical value. Moving forward, the next video is going to focus on another non-parametric test, the Kruskal-Wallis test.